So here I am on Bulham train station, waiting to catch a train to go to Crystal Palace. I'm with Aron. Aron, how long have you been looking forward to this day?
Probably since I was about 11.
And why? What are we going to see?
We're going to see dinosaurs that were fashioned in the mid-1800s by the then leading authority in paleontology, who was convinced that dinosaurs were actually some sort of giant lizards and bore no resemblance or relationship to birds. And he actually actively tried to conceal that relationship to birds. So what he depicted on the limited fossil finds that they only had partial skeletons. So he tried to kind of imagine what these animals would look like with the rest of the skeleton filled in. And what he created looks more mammalian than reptilian, so I don't know if he was all that expert at anatomy either.
Okay, we'll let you know how we get on.
Well, that's the advantage of seeing it with your own eyes.
Yes. And there we are. Dinosaurs. And what seems to be a frog. Let's see if we can zoom in on these. Not like any dinosaur I've ever seen.
No.
After 40 years, are you disappointed?
No, I'm not. The Megalosaurus, for example, is actually larger than I expected it to be. I was expecting that everything was going to be somewhat reduced. Somebody had actually told me that they were reduced in size, but I don't think so. Of course, it's terribly wrongly depicted. This was a theropod, but they didn't know about theropods yet. So all they had was the hips of this thing. And
so what does it actually? What's wrong with it?
Well, it looks more like an Allosaurus.
Uh-huh.
Oh, baby duck.
Mommy duck. Here's the other one.
Sorry, you were saying it looks more like a what?
It looks, in real life, it would have looked more like an Allosaurus. So it would have walked on two legs and had, very small arms, and it didn't have that hump or any of that. All that was imagined. The way the tail drags, that was wrong too. So he had very limited information about reptiles. As you can see, he made this look like a mammal. And he depicted at one point that these might have been warm-blooded, but as extra information was discovered, they showed to be more bird-like. And he couldn't accept a transition from something like this into a bird. So he started trying to create a line where there wasn't one. Trying to keep them separate. And so then he started arguing against himself that these had to be sluggish, cold-blooded creatures. And he said that God would come up with new editions of creation. The new creations would be better than the previous ones. It'd be kind of
So
like
God was like on a learning exercise.
or more like the auto industry, where the next decade's models are better than the one before. Apparently God works that way.
I think you're going to have to take a few more.